I mean, is this
another boyfriend
answering some stuff for you?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I really just want, like, you know, to document our family, and this has the other side to some of what Grandma says, and you are her children, and you have an experience that should be documented.
So am I going on?
Yeah.
So this other boyfriend that I had, this was when I was in high school. He had a car, which was a big deal. You know, he had a car. So Dad used to ask him, well, where are you going, and how far, and how long is it going to take, and when you're going to be back, and yada yada yada, whatever. So he would always question him, and if I was back late, he would get upset because what were you doing with this boy in the car? Where did you go? And you know, that kind of thing. But I think that more of the boyfriend / girlfriend stories were from already. By the time they got to me, they had gone through it already with Ruth, and Ruth had her own whatever.
And by me, they were completely
so they weren't as hard on my boyfriends as they were on Ruth's. You know.
Okay.
Yeah.
To go back to like what your grandmother would say, just like I said, there were definitely odd stuff going on. So when it was a big deal when my father got his U.S. driver's license, and he was like I said, he was in his 60s when he got his driver's license, and he wanted to get a car, and she would not let him get a car. Or there were many times where my father wanted to move or go buy a house, and she would have none of it, and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know if you have those kind of memories or stuff like that.
I do.
So there's a lot of that kind of stuff going on, where I think my dad, again, 20-year difference in age, all that kind of stuff, different place when they went through stuff, where my dad wanted to do things differently, and my mother wanted to be very safe, very secure, stay where she was, stay in her routine kind of deal.
She was very afraid of change. And very private. She didn't want to tell anybody anything. But
the only time we would have company come over the house was when Hedda, our cousin Hedda, would come over.
No, Julius. Do you remember Julius?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
that was the only time when...
Do you remember Yuri's friend Frank?
No.
Yeah, he was the one I told you. Okay.
And that was the only time where like a snack would actually come out.
Oh, but Ulfelders used to come up. Susie.
I don't remember that either. I know who they are, but
Yeah.
I don't remember them coming up. But so they would actually put out a snack, which was like crazy, that they would actually put out a snack for somebody to eat, and it was those chocolate coffee bean things.
Oh, yes.
Is that what they...
Yeah, they came in this little plastic circular thing, and you open it up, and it was either peanut or raisin or coffee. It was like 3 different types.
You know, it was
so
a big,
they had like
you know, it was a big deal when that was
compartment.
broken out, boy.
Yeah, it really was. Or the butter cookies. She did butter cookies too. That tin.
Yeah, it sucked.
Those are the best.
Huh?
Those are the best.
Bill, okay, so I do remember one time our relatives from South Africa came. And we went to meet them at the Hilton in Manhattan on 6th Avenue. And so we met them in the lobby or some restaurant right by the Hilton. And we had tea.
Yeah.
That was like
that was a big
It was a
deal.
big
That
deal.
was
We
cool.
were like, you know,
wow, we
we're
went
not...
out. Yeah, we went to this place.
And we had tea.
And there was somebody else who came and performed. They did a play. I remember it was like the first play we had gone to. I think it was like a ballet. It was more like a ballet.
And there was, I do remember doing it once, but I imagine you did it more than once or have memories of doing it, where we actually went to Radio City Music Hall to watch a movie, which was different than Radio City Music Hall these days. So,
We saw the tamarind seed.
yes, that was the one.
That-
Oh, it was only
That's
once?
only once.
Oh. Again, I don't know how old I was, but it was not age appropriate for me.
No.
But So they would show the movie, and the Rockettes
The
would
Rockettes,
do a thing before and after the movie. They would do something.
Yeah.
Oh, so it wasn't more. That was just that one time.
Just that one time. And I remember my dad talking about retiring before that. He said, we're going to go to Radio City Hall every week, or whenever they change the movies, we're going to go all the time. No, just the one. But at least we made it there once.
I am sure that he had every intention of us doing it, and Mom wouldn't let him do it.
Probably.
I'm sure exactly what happened.
So when your
I had
mom...
never been to a circus. Mom and Dad never took us. So, first circus I went to was with Steve.
I mean, I was very lucky. I mean, whether it was Ruth or Yuri, like they would
took you places.
they would take me to a circus for this or that.
Mm.
You were saying, I'm sorry.
So when your mom would find out that your dad was sneaking you money to go do like those extracurricular...
She never found it.
She never found out?
No.
I never told her. I wasn't stupid. I wasn't that stupid. I got bad grades, but I wasn't that stupid.
But like when he would go see you or at a game or whatever, like what did your mom didn't
Well, she
know.
knew I was playing.
Okay, she just didn't know that he was supporting you in any way.
Well, for playing a sport, they had to sign a waiver. That took forever. But no, I mean he went to a game with Ingrid to watch me play once. But like I said, I had no other extracurricular stuff did she attend. Where again, my dad, I remember going to a play that I was in, a debate club kind of thing, or that kind of stuff. He would come every now and then.
And it was hard for him because he would get up really early for work. And
Well, he was retired. For me, he wasn't working. Like I said, if he retired at 65, I was 5 years old, so
yeah,
I don't remember him ever working.
that's true.
And as you got older, what kind of relationship did you have with Ruth and Uri?
Again, they were, I don't know that it was ever felt like siblings. I guess I don't know what a sibling relationship should feel like, but it was always nice because whether I was sleeping over at Ruth's house or Neil was taking me to a Knick game or something like that, those were pretty cool things. Or staying over at Yuri's apartment on 207th Street, sleeping on a cot in the kitchen.
Yeah.
That was the first time I had pizza. Was in his house, sleeping over at his house with Kay. I had pizza. I remember.
Oh.
Yeah, maybe that was the first
Was I
time.
there with you that time?
Definitely not. No. So, and I remember sleeping on the cot, and then their cats like kind of nibbling at my toes.
Two cats, yeah.
And like I said, those were. Like Kay would say, "Oh, what kind of food do you like?" I'm like, "What do you mean? There are types of food?"
Yeah, we didn't know.
And
It was
so
mom's food or nothing.
So I remember like having something at school was like tuna casserole. So I said, "Tuna casserole is my favorite. I love it." And Kay made tuna casserole. It was like nothing like anything I've ever seen before. What the hell is this? But yeah, so I think. I certainly, it opened my eyes to a lot of things, spending time with Yuri and Ruth. Certainly with both Kay and Neil trying to expand my horizons or supporting me more. Like, again, Neil was like the only one who kind of had like a sports idea, so he was supportive in the sports end. And Kay was very supportive, she gave me a microscope and things like that.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
I think we never really got birthday gifts or anything from our parents. If we got anything, it was underwear, pajamas, or new pair of shoes. It was what we needed. It wasn't like
I remember
just
Yuri got me my first bike.
Yeah.
It was a big blue Huffy, but it had to be German practical. So it was so practical that the wheels were solid rubber, so that it would never get a flat. Now, you can only imagine how heavy this damn bike was. Because the wheels were made of solid rubber.
I thought Daddy got you that bike.
No, that was Yuri. And then Daddy got me the bike that he pulled out of the garbage, and he had them repair it. That was that's the bike Dad got me.
But then I got the Peugeot because I learned how to ride your bike. Remember, I got on.
You learned to ride after me?
I remember it was for your birthday, and we took it out into the hallway outside the apartment, and you got on and you tried to ride it, and you were struggling with it a little bit, and
Oh
then
yeah, that thing weighed
you
like
got tired of it, and I went on the bike and I went like this. Look, I'm pedaling, and I went down with the bike. But I was always a climber, physical.
Yeah, so like I said, those were good experiences with
Yeah.
them. But I don't know if they were sibling. I mean, they were sibling based on our age differences.
Was it like a huge culture shock when you went to college in Ohio?
No.
No?
I saw every college movie before I went there. I knew exactly what college was. It wasn't. No. Surprisingly not. I mean, certainly it was just being in an environment with people my age, which I guess I was accustomed to doing. And I guess at that point I was pretty distant from my parents to begin with, so I didn't even feel like that unique about being away. So I don't think it was a culture shock. I mean, it was certainly interesting, like the cultural differences between New York and Ohio. You know, they called soda pop and tennis shoes instead of sneakers and things like that. But you know, it was. I certainly learned a lot more about, Catholicism and Christianity, all that kind of stuff being away. But it wasn't a big cultural thing.
I just remember when you were away and you hurt your hand, you didn't want to tell Mom and Dad, so you called me.
That happened in high school.
Okay, so it was in high school. Yeah, it was in high school. But you called and you didn't want to tell them that you got hurt, so you told me, and that you needed surgery. And then I think they went into the hospital to see you.
Mm-hmm.
And then they couldn't understand.
That's when you got screws in your wrist?
Yeah, they couldn't understand how he already had this injury. Why does he still want to play football? Yeah.
Sure. Then I had surgery the year after on my other hand. But one of the cool stories.
What did you make?